In all honesty, I thought, well, there'll be maybe 10, 12 people.
Yeah.
Damn, you guys!
There's so many more.
Wow.
But I still want to introduce you. Like, that wasn't my thunder. So I'm going to do it again.
Oh,
I'm
wait,
gonna
I
introduce
have to
you.
hear them applaud again?
Yeah, yeah, that's
Wait,
you go.
Wait. Why shouldn't I enjoy this later, too?
Yeah, you sure should. This is exactly what this is for.
Oh. Go for it.
All right. GalaxyCon Minneapolis, let's hear it for Jim O'Hare.
Hey, you guys. Truly, I don't get it, but thank you.
And Minneapolis sits here to prove you do deserve this. This is you.
Look at all the empty seats over there. Sons of bitches.
I know.
Okay. I have to. Okay, also, there's kids here, so I'm going to try to be better than I normally am. Because I've been told I have a bit of a potty mouth.
So the parents.
Fuck that. We'll be good.
There we go.
We'll figure it
there
out.
we go.
We'll figure it out.
Parental permission. Awesome.
I know 2 people here. I'm having dinner with them later.
Ooh.
Yes. There's someone here whose mom and I went to high school together.
No kidding.
Yeah, and I just turned 35, so I think we went to high school. Yeah, we graduated in 95.
2006?
Something like that.
Yeah.
2002.
2002. That's exactly
my graduation year.
You knew that.
It's weird. Her mom graduated in 1980, so I don't really get it. But it's
complex math,
all good.
wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
It's all crazy.
Great.
Yes.
Well, this is very much
Are you Star-Lord?
I'm Star-Lord. You're the first one to recognize me too, as at the celebrity table. So
yes, I was texting with Mr. Pratt yesterday. You guys have heard of Chris Pratt? I don't know. Anyway, he's the only one, which is kind of heartbreaking, out of Parks who nothing really happened for.
I know.
But, well, when you have no talent and you're ugly, that, sorry. I was blessed with this.
Yes.
And it's a gift. No, but this is, please don't repeat this. I throw him $20 to cut my lawn every Wednesday.
Oh, that's very nice of you.
He's got a kid. He's newly married. I do what I can.
I figured it'd be most comfortable for you to see a Chris Pratt character in this, kind of subservient role.
Yes,
like that was normal for you. I wanted you comfortable.
Yes, subservient to me. Yes.
That's exactly right.
No, you guys, with all kidding aside, he's the greatest man in the world.
That's the real reason.
He truly is one.
Yeah.
Because not only, of course, talented, funny, blah blah blah, all that good stuff. He's kind.
That's important right now.
Yeah, I've never gone down that road. I find it stifles me. So no. I am a huge a-hole. Yeah.
You put the A in art and a-hole.
And exactly.
Yeah, no, I get it. It works.
No, but seriously, thank you guys for coming. That's very sweet. I got him to applaud again.
You are so smooth.
Yeah, I love it.
Well, no, and we're thankful for you coming out to Minneapolis. Like, how is it treating you?
It's great, crazy. Yesterday, because I've never in my life done this, after the show, I went to the Mall of America.
Ooh.
I only had 2 hours because it closes at whatever. But I was on a log ride in a building. I'm still processing the whole 2 hours. Like, it's wild. It's overkill. But what's that? Hi to who?
Oh, you've just insulted Minnesota.
I saw a couple of babes, but I wouldn't have called them an ox. No, what is that? I know what Babe the Blue Ox is, but is Babe there? No, but I had a good steak, so maybe I did. Maybe I did. I don't know.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were really.
No, but it really, I don't know how to describe the event. I mean, it's so. It's monstrous, and it just goes this. And then I thought, I feel like I saw that store already, and it turns out stores have multiple stores in this. It's that
for when you get lost.
For when you get lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you,
and then I ate at a place called Cowboy something. Does anybody know? Yeah, delicious. And then, this is going to sound like a lovely thing, but it's very uncomfortable. But they wouldn't let me buy my own dinner, which is. ridiculous. Because little Sebastian, I love that. And then no, because then I could never go there again because it will always look like I'm looking for a free meal.
Oh no!
I can't go to the Starbucks near my house
Yeah.
because that one day they gave me that free frap and I can't go back again.
Now you're stuck.
So don't give me stuff, people, please.
It's going to be really
Accept
hard.
your love.
Aww.
That's you know what? And I'll keep coming back.
Yeah.
Excuse me, that came right up to you.
You took that line from Chris Pratt, didn't you? No, it's going to be really hard for Minnesotans to not keep giving you free stuff. That's kind of in the blood.
Give.
Great. Wonderful. So this is going to be largely a Q&A formatted panel. And my favorite panels are when the moderator talks less and the fans talks more. So we do have a microphone set up over there.
Cool.
You can get in line. It is currently off because no one's at it. So the first person's going to have to switch it to the on position. If that made it very intimidating, I'm sorry, but I believe in you.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so
knock each other down. Knock each other down. Knock each other down.
Jim,
I will not be happy till a paramedic comes in here.
Jim, this is no sarcasm. Every panel before this, most celebrities remarked on how slow and casual the run of the mic was.
Oh, right.
This is the first one where I saw elbows thrown.
Well, I like it.
This is for you.
If you want something, go for it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. All right, so we're going to get right into our first question.
Hi, my name's Felicia. I was wondering, what's your favorite Jerry moment?
Wow. Well, okay, here's a kind of behind-the-scenes story of a good Jerry moment. So you know the episode where Jerry, he's been mugged, but of course he wasn't mugged. Anyway, so we do the scene in the which, just so you know, the best scenes that we would all love, like when we see I'm belching, excuse me.
It's all right. You do what you want.
Babe the Blue Ox. I think that thing went down bad. No, but we loved the conference room scenes because then we were all together usually and being stupid and anyway, so we loved all that. So now we're doing the conference room scene where I'm giving a presentation after I've come back from the hospital. I bend over, I fart, my pants split. Okay, so we know that happens. So while we were doing it, of course, they're breaking up and we're laughing, whatever. And finally, Amy goes, "That's it, I'm done. I will not laugh anymore." And I thought, challenge on. So I went backstage because they would pre-split the pants and blah blah blah. So I go back and I took off my underwear, so that now when the split happens, it's full moon. You know what I'm saying? And for you gals who will love to hear this, quite a hairy moon. You know what I'm saying?
It's a werewolf moon.
It's a werewolf moon, yeah, and a little bit of a dirty eye. But anyway. See, I'm sorry. Hopefully it goes over their heads. I don't know what I'm saying.
Thank you.
If they get the jokes, it's not your fault.
I just watched that episode yesterday.
Yeah, no, but I hate to be. But anyway, so during that episode, so I go to do it, and right before, so the director yelled, we're on a bell, we're ready, okay, and cut. Like what? Nothing has happened yet. The director comes running in and he goes, "I just heard what you're going to do. Please don't do that." And the reason I couldn't do it was because a few episodes earlier, Chris Pratt, there's an episode where Andy goes to Leslie's, I think it's Leslie's house, maybe Ann's, but I think it's, anyway, she opens the door and he's naked. Whose house was he at? It was Ann's. Yeah, I don't think we never really saw much of Amy's place, right? Because she was a hoarder kind of craziness, yeah. So, but it was at Ann's house. And so she opens the door and Pratt did, and normally when you do any type of naked scene, you're in these skin-tight, they call them dance belts, like dancers wear them, and they're skin flesh colored, and so whatever. So he'd been doing it in that. Well, the one take, she opens the door, and you can see this on YouTube, they have outtakes, and he's just balls to the wall naked. So, and she's, blah, blah, blah. Well, it turns out the next day, lawyers showed up at his trailer. Somebody felt uncomfortable. And so it caused this kind of big stir. And Pratt has told this story on one of the late night shows. But anyway, so the director got so worried that I was about to do a Pratt moment that he literally cut me off. But it made Amy laugh because of what happened. So I still won.
That's the important thesis.
Yeah.
Great question.
Hi, my name is Abby. And
I know, we met before.
We met yesterday. I wanted to say Jerry is probably my favorite character because he's so lovable and he gets a lot of shit, but that doesn't change who he is. And I feel like he is who I relate to the most on there. So I wanted to say thank you first of all.
Oh, that's sweet. Thank you.
And then also because I watched this episode last night, are there any good stories about when you and Chris Pratt were shooting the pie to the face reenactment?
Yeah, the story is the asshole loved every second of it. That's the story. And I got a pie in my face.
How many times?
And between takes, we had on top of the greatest cast, because let me tell you something. You hear a lot of people say, and God bless them, oh, we were like a family. I've been on your shows. You're not like a family. But Parks, we were so close. We bonded pretty quick. People always say, what's your favorite episode? And I have a personal favorite based on emotions, and that was season 2, The Hunting Trip, because it was the first time most of us, Pratt and Aubrey weren't, but the rest of us were out in a forest for a week. And I think it's when we fell in love as people, as human beings.
That's amazing.
And so that's like always my favorite. But anyway, so but we also, on top of this great cast, the crew was incredible. And shows, especially a show that goes on for 7 years, it's rare, very rare, to have everyone stick with you because they get other opportunities. This happens, that happens. By the time Parks wrapped, we still had 85% of our original crew, and that includes hair and makeup, sound, camera. It was just because it was such a wonderful set, because Amy, our fearless leader, and that is just the tone she set, and that is what stayed for 7 years. So, but the poor makeup, so now between each take, they got to clean me up. And Pratt's just sitting there picking out which pie he's going to do next. Yeah, and I'm being doused, you know, and they do all the work, but still, yeah, but that was a fun scene. First of all, there would be time, Amy was so much our mother, and I'm 8 years older than Amy, but she still had that, she's a very, caring, taking care of people kind of person. And like certain bits, she'd come up and she'd go, are you comfortable with that? Like, I go, getting a pie in my face? I live for that. The farting, bending over, farting, splitting my pants, I go, I live for that. Like, yeah, so I mean, she was always worried that, are we comfortable and stuff. So, yeah, Pratt loved that scene. Yeah, and it's out there, and some of the pies were okay, and some were awful. So, but no, it was fun. It was really fun.
Thank you so much.
Sure,
Great
of course.
question.
Thank you.
All right, so this isn't really a question.
Okay, I called security. I wanted him out. He knew that. He knew that. Go ahead.
But just tell me when to stop.
Stop. Next. There. A little
Right
less,
there?
little less, and a little thicker. And that is when life and art come together. You know what I'm saying? That's when it all melds. That was a writer next to me at the urinal. You know what I'm saying? And, no, but I will tell you this. He's referencing, I'm sure you all know, but the doctor said Jerry had the largest penis he's ever seen. So I found out later they also shot it where he goes, that man has the smallest penis I've ever seen. So I was like, well, thank you for not going that direction because it just, no one needs to hear that. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, but yeah, they shot it both ways. And so when we, at the end of every season, we do a rap party and they would give a rap tape of outtakes that can't even go on the internet because they're so terrible. Oh. We were a filthy bunch. I'm telling you, we would all be arrested, Me Too-wise. I mean, we would be like, it was crazy. But we all, it was fun. It was just having a good time. But what I didn't know is, so I'm watching the thing, and then the doctor comes up. I'm like, well, that's from the show. The smallest penis I've. Oh, you bastards. So anyway, but yes, I'm glad they went the direction they did. But again, life and art. You know what I'm saying, ladies? Keep it in mind. Wink, nudge, nudge. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it works better when you say wink.
It does work, yeah.
Especially in Minnesota.
Yeah.
All right.
Hi.
Hi. So I just last week was introduced to Edgar Allan Poe's Murder Mystery Dinner Party.
Oh my gosh.
And I am very curious of how you got involved in that project and what it was like filming for a YouTube channel versus television.
Wow. How I got involved, there are some terrible pictures of me out there that people have. And there might have been a goat involved. I don't know. I'm just saying I had to do it. You know what I'm saying? No, they had to. No, I'm joking. I cannot remember how I got involved. I'm guessing my manager, I would guess someone brought it to me. I can't really remember. But what's it called again?
Edgar Allan Poe's Murder Mystery Dinner Party.
You guys should check it out. It's really good. Edgar Allan Poe's Murder Mystery Party. And I had so much fun. It's a bunch of young actors, and they are so dedicated, and they worked really hard. But it is different when you shoot that kind of thing because, like, I'm on a new show now, a network show called Bless This Mess. And there's a, yay! Yeah, other people hired me, okay? Get over it. And, no, but it's... Basically, there's no money on that kind of show compared to like a Parks or a Bless This Mess. So you have, you know, it's the crew is very light. You got the one sound guy who's trying to do boom and mic us, and that can be a nightmare. It can be crazy, but I kind of love that stuff. It's why I love doing indie films because it's people working so hard. Because with the big, like even on Bless This Mess, I'm going to say we have... I think there's 150 on the crew, I think, to make a show every week. And that's not including office people, you know, accountants and all the stuff that people do. So we, so there's something very raw about doing indies and about like a YouTube thing. So I actually love the process. You go there knowing it's not, you know, you get spoiled on a big network show. You just do. They feed you all day long. As you can tell, I never turn it down. No, but they feed you all day long. And this, you know, you go to craft services, and it's maybe a 12-pack of donuts from the store. You know, like, it's just a different world. But I love that world. I have to say, like, I always say, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, if I have done indies that there was no money to be made from anybody, for anybody, but the script was so good that that's all that mattered. You know, and actors love a good script. And I did a film right after Parks called Middleman. And it was, we got actors, great actors, people that you would know, Walking Dead people, and Annie Dudek was on House. Anyway, great people for $100 a day. Now, in the acting world, my guess is, I don't know exactly what they get, but they get a lot more than $100 a day. But they did it for the script. And there is nothing, I love this girl here, by the way. She is my fave. Nothing personal, but I love her. Anyway, I didn't even realize you were sitting there. So, and you know it's going to be raw. We shot Middleman in the desert. Me and Andrew J. West, who was on, you know him from Walking Dead and from Once Upon a Time, or is that ABC show? Was it Once Upon a Time?
Yeah, you got it.
Anyway, you would know him. The two of us changing clothes with our car doors open for some modesty. I mean, it was down and dirty. But that's real filmmaking. Like, that's hardcore, and I actually love that. So I know I rambled over that, but it's very, very, very different, and it's all because of money. It really is. There's a lot of money. Like, I always think on these big shows, we could be doing this for a lot less money, but they don't. So, okay, I'm not in control of the money, so, you know, they give me my $10 million an episode, and I move on from there. Yes.
Thank you.
I hope that
question.
I don't even know if I answered your question. Thanks.
Perfect.
Perfect. We met earlier, too.
We did. Hi. So what is your favorite ad-libbed or off-scripted moment during Parks and Rec?
Okay. There will be those that have seen it and those who haven't. And this didn't come out of my mouth, but I wish it had. We're doing the episode, and we're Ann and Leslie are at the table, and we're talking about comebacks because we can do a big, yes. So I won't be too graphic, but look up on InnerTube.
That's close enough.
Isn't it sad what age does? Yeah, my marbles are full of mouth today. Anyway, but look it up on YouTube. And Chris Pratt, can I say it? I don't know.
You can say it.
Are there super young kids here? I don't know. I don't want to. Okay, well, anyway, they're talking about a comeback story. And so they're going, oh, this person had a comeback, and, you know, like someone whose career was bad and came back, or someone in life who something terrible happened and they fought back. And Pratt goes, yeah, well, and like the Kardashian. And she goes, what? And he goes, well, yeah, I saw something where she got cum on her back. And you got to watch the video because there's this pause. Because I'm sitting there and Nick is sitting there, and there's that moment before you realize what he has said. And then we're gone. We are gone. And, of course, Amy and Rashida are like, you know, they're trying to be much more proper than the guys. But check that out. So that's one of the all-time best I think, outtakes. And then another one of Pratt. Amy was sick, the flu season episode, and she's running out, and he goes, "Oh, I looked it up, and you have connectivity issues." Because he's a dumbass, and he looked it up on the computer, and that's what he came up with. And Mike Schur, who created the show, co-created with Greg Daniels, will always say, that is the funniest line that was ever written for the show, and he goes, it wasn't from the writers. This was out of Chris Pratt's mouth. So he's like, someone showed me an outtake the other day that I hadn't seen. It's an Andy one when he's kind of heavier, and he's standing in a doorway. I don't know what he was even going to say, but he just stood and farted. And then he looks at the camera and he goes, I think I pooped myself. And then he goes, I really think I pooped myself. I mean, that's Pratt. What are you going to say? Though the big set farter was Offerman, Nick Offerman, Ron Swanson. He loved to rip one. And he loved to do it where it's the drive-by and someone else gets blamed. Yeah. But then you learn, and then it works in your favor, because then you can do what you need to do and go, Offerman did a drive-by. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for a great question.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hey. Oh, come on. Is that Jerry over there? What's happening?
I guess. So first of all, I just want to say you're my mom's favorite Parks and Rec character.
Thank
Jerry's her
you.
favorite.
I probably dated her. Go on. Yeah, you could be mine. How old are you? Do you have
21.
Do you have a hairy back? Could be mine. Let's move on.
What was your favorite cold open?
Cold open. Oh my God. Oh, you guys throw some out. I can't. I'm blanking. Cold opens. Oh my God, that is one of the greatest. Was that a cold open?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God. But the outtake of that is even better, where so the whole mouth comes out because it was a fake. But when he did it the first time, it looked so damn real. Ooh. I love that. But I love the outtake better than anything. Well, I've never been asked that question. She's my
Good
daughter.
question.
Oh my God. So excited. I'm not going to give you a penny though, just so you know. Not a penny. No.
Hi.
Sorry, didn't work out.
I might also be yours because she's my sister.
Oh my God. I should warn everyone here, my sperm are so powerful. Even sitting up here, I'm probably impregnating you. Yes. Oh yeah, they're crawling. Yeah, this could be a mess. This could be ugly, yeah.
I do really love you. My car is actually named Jerry because it fucks up all the time. Mike. But my question is, which of Jerry's names is your favorite?
It's so easy for me because Jerry was on the script the day I got the job. When I got called, they said, I got the call from my agent. They said, Jim, you booked this new show. The new, at the time, it was just called the Amy Poehler Show because there wasn't a title. And my first question was, what role? And the reason I asked that was because I had auditioned for Ron Swanson because everybody auditioned for Ron Swanson. Like, it was the hot show during this pilot season because Amy Poehler just coming off of SNL, where she was, of course, brilliant. And then she had just had a baby, and the word was out. It wasn't just going to be a pilot. Like, you do a pilot, and then you see what happens. They gave it 6. So it was like the show you wanted to get because, you know, in this day and age, even 6, you're thrilled to get 6 episodes, you know. So I said, what role? And she goes, well, I don't know. I'll call you back. Yeah, you're working for your 10%. So she calls me back and she goes, Jerry. I go, oh, because the way Jerry happened was after I auditioned for Ron, and again, I'm telling you, it was everyone auditioned for. You can Google there's some of the auditions have been released, like they get out there somehow. I don't think mine has. I'm not sure, but in my case, apparently they liked something they saw, whatever. And so then they brought me back for Jerry. And again, even for that, they're auditioning everybody. They don't know who they want, what kind. And I finally found out what the reason I got the gig was. Greg Daniels said to Mike Schur, he's funny. Put him at a desk, it'll work out. And that's just how it happened. Like, he could have not said that, and I wouldn't be sitting here. I would still just be chronically masturbating, which I still do. Still do. Yeah, 57, still at it. Don't worry. Haven't given up. I'm not a quitter, for the record. I'm not a quitter. Yeah.
Thank you. I'll hit you up for my child support later.
Do not
Thank
call.
you.
No. Do not call. No. I will burn off my fingertips to say I know. I will not have any. There'll be no prints. No nothing. We met earlier.
No
too.
pressure. Do you remember the question?
Yeah.
I prepped
she told
him
me
for
the
this, so
question.
if it's bad, it's all his fault.
Okay, you're gonna have to remind me.
It's if you could go back to one episode and
what would I
something.
change?
Yes.
Okay.
He had like 3 hours to think about this.
Yeah. Okay. Could we play some music while I come up
Yeah.
with this? I'm gonna need about a little bit.
Bum, bum,
bum,
dun,
bum,
dun,
bum,
dun, dun, dun.
Okay. Thank you. No. Oh boy. What would I change about? Because I remember thinking I had a good answer at the time, and now I don't. I'm 57, so those answers are gone as quick as they're there. Boy. I don't know that I would. There was. I can tell you the episode that if it didn't go the way it went, things could have been different for me. And the episode is when we are doing me and Donna and. At the time, Paul Schneider, who played Mark Brandanowitz, people forget he was in there, but he did 30 episodes. Like he did a lot of them. But it's so weird. I love Paul, but it's the minute Adam came in, it just kind of felt right. Paul is such a film actor. Like he's just so good, and I don't know that he loved the style of a sitcom because it is different. It's different than film and it's different than drama, you know. But anyway, so we do the episode where we're finding shit on each other and we're trying to get each other, and you know. And I'm like, I don't want to play this game, and they're like, well, we're all playing it. So I go along, and all I can come up with is I say to Mark Brandanowitz, so here you got 2 unpaid parking tickets. Big deal. And he goes, oh, really? I heard your pops. I heard you didn't. I heard your adoptive mother smokes pot. He goes, you didn't know that? I go, I didn't know I was adopted. And that is when, I mean, they'll tell you, that is when they said, that's who Jerry is. That's going to be who Jerry is. Now, I always wonder if that hadn't happened. I don't know. I don't know where they could have gone. Maybe Jerry, because you know, there's a lot of shows. People just kind of slowly disappear because they didn't really find an avenue for that character or that actor. So I don't know. Things have changed? I wish I had a better answer for you.
No, that was good.
I don't really know.
Thank you.
Because I thought the writing was brilliant. You know, and we get a lot of credit for improvising on that show. And let me tell you how it worked. We would, you know, get our scripts. On a Wednesday, we'd do a table read, Wednesday or Thursday. And then by the weekend, the script has changed a lot, just by the nature of it. They hear it out loud, what worked, what didn't work. Maybe one character needs to be. So it changes a lot by the time the weekend comes. And then you start shooting on Monday. We shot Monday through Friday. And the way we shot, so we got the scene. So say we're doing the first scene in the morning. We rehearse it. Then we go away to our trailers and get changed and all that kind of stuff. We come back. We do it again just for camera, and then we shoot it. And then once everyone's happy, meaning writers, directors, cast, you know, everyone's good. Okay, fun run. And fun run meant anything goes. Anything goes. And I will tell you to this day, I think it's why we stayed as tight of a cast as we did, because we played every single day. Now, at the beginning, it was a little nerve-wracking. You're improvising with Amy Poehler.
Yeah.
Now, I feel I can hold my own against most, but it's Amy Poehler. And so it was a little nerve-wracking. But then, after a while, we couldn't wait to do it. And we thought we came up with some brilliant stuff. But the writing was almost always smarter than what we came up with. So, and also, we would do a fun run that would last 10 minutes. They're not giving that scene 10 minutes. It was a 1.5-minute scene. They're not giving it 10 minutes. But we're being stupid. Retta would pull her wig off and throw it in I mean, it was nuts. It was nuts. But we did that for 7 years, and I'm on a new show now. Did I mention that again before? Bless this mouse. ABC Tuesdays after the Connors. Anyway, but now Lake Bell, who is a big fan of Amy, we do fun runs on Bless This Mess. So I just think it's smart. Every once in a while, they get a piece of gold. And like the fun run for Pratt. That was a fun run when he said she has connectivity issues. And, of course, the come on the back, that's just never going to be heard. That wasn't a fun run. That was just fun.
Great question.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How are ya?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. So yeah, I had the pleasure of meeting you earlier.
We did, yes.
I came by the table.
Thank you. He pinched my ass. It was lovely. Anyway, don't worry. I don't judge.
So it was just good, and I'm gonna keep doing that. So it was just good that you were, nice and genuine. So
Was I? I didn't mean to be. I did not. I'm sorry. Then my apologies if I came across that way.
It felt a lot like, the character from the show, Jerry, Garry, Larry. They're all terrible,
Yeah.
whatever.
They're all terrible.
Right.
Yeah.
So was the character kind of based around you and your personality, or did that kind of you just put yourself into it, or how did that happen?
Get him out of here. Get the mother out of here. Other than the penis, no. No, it's weird. As actors, you're always bringing a PC into the role. It's just the nature of it. Like, if you spend an hour with Nick Offerman, you would just love him because he's very much Ron Swanson, but he's also Nick. He's his own, not as crazed as Ron Swanson can be. So they're always going to be, but I don't think I'm bumbly. I don't think I fumble too much. I certainly goof up here and there. The one thing I never understood, and maybe someone can explain it here, what was the joke? Because I've seen people laugh at it. What was the joke about Christy Brinkley being my wife? Are you guys as confused as I am? I've never understood that. And anyway, no, so I don't know. I mean, certainly a part of me, I like to think I'm a decent human being. I think Jerry was, if the world was full of Jerrys, but I'm not, believe me, verbally I'm not Jerry. I did I've told some people this, but I did a Q&A at some college in Boston, and this girl comes up, because then we did a bunch of pictures after, and she was, I could tell, heartbroken, because she came up and she goes, "You were much dirtier than I expected." And I felt bad. I told Aziz this story. He said, "You should have said, fucking A, I am." But I didn't, because I actually felt bad. But then I thought, well, lady, I am not Jerry Gergich. I mean, I portrayed him. So, yeah, there's a mix. Yeah, there is, again, the penis, absolutely on target. No doctor has ever diagnosed me with anything because they're just obsessed with my penis. So, and it's weird. I have lumps all over, but apparently I'm fine. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, there's always a part of us in a character, but I'm not as crazed as Jerry, or as nice, as you can tell.
Thank you for the great question.
You. We met earlier, too.
Hi, don't worry, I'm not going to strip this time either.
Wow, you ask one time, and then she asked like you're going to do it every time.
If you could go back and, remake an episode, which episode would you recast? Or,
Recast?
reshoot?
Oh, boy. Boy, that's like that other question. We would get the scripts, and here's my thing, and some of you could disagree, and it's fine. As shows go on, I find a lot of my favorite shows, they tend to get a little weaker. And the reason that happens is because writers get big gigs elsewhere, and they go here and they go there. It happens. And you can't blame them, because all of a sudden the network's like, oh, he's good on that show. Let's give him his own series, and maybe that blows up and becomes huge. I think Parks got stronger every season. I really believe that. And that's because Mike Schur, who co-created us with Greg Daniels, never left us. He never left us. So his voice was there always. And I would just get these scripts every week and go, how did they do it again? How did they do it again? Because, again, I've been on other shows, and you go, oh, we're starting to take a dip, aren't we? Because the writing would just not be right there. So I don't know that I could say any of them, because they were I thought they were all so strong. Other than, it seemed like Amy got a lot of lines. I don't know what that was about. Other than her getting to talk a lot. I mean, maybe it should have been me running the department. I don't know. No, but I'm so proud of each one of those episodes, and I can't take, I can't take credit for them. I can only be proud that I was part of them. Yeah.
Great question.
Hi, I'm Michael.
Hey, Michael.
Hi. I'm
Hi.
wondering if
Do you want to lean into the mic just a
Yeah,
little more?
Go mouth
so
in the mic. Okay?
Everyone can hear you.
Okay. Everyone can hear me? Oh,
Yeah, go down a little. Put your face right at the mic. Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
I need a couch. If you were to recast yourself, who would you recast?
If I could, I'm sorry.
If you could recast yourself.
In the show or just in the?
In the show.
Yeah. I mean, just because he's so fun, Andy, of course. You know what I mean? Because who doesn't want to throw a briefcase and hit a wall and ruin a light? You know what I mean? Like, that's, and get away with it. And have the crew, even the guys who have to fix it, laugh. You know what I mean? Because, I've been in other places where things happen and the crew is like, you mother, that's going to take me an hour, But we just laughed, and then that, and you can see it in one of the outtakes. And then he jumps back over and takes out a computer. Now all this shit breaks and has to be replaced. None of it's not just sitting there, So I guess Andy, the problem we always had on the show, and at one point I thought they should put our names when we were on the air. People would confuse me with Rob Lowe, who played Chris, and. Even Cat? Let me tell you, there was an article that came out, and it said, "What's wrong with these pictures?" And it was a picture of me next to Rob Lowe, and it said me, born 1962, Rob, born 1963. Obviously mocking that we don't look anything alike. And I said to Rob, dude, you're the freak, not me. That is on you. So, yes, I guess it would be nice to be a bit of a sex symbol like Rob Lowe. But, yes, if I had to, just because of the fun he had, I'd have to say Andy. Yeah.
Great.
Definitely.
Great question. Thank you.
Okay, I don't know who this is, and I'm a little nervous, so let's see what happens
I'm
here.
personally hurt by that.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Oh, God. Well, my question for you is, have you ever suffered an actual fart attack? And if you haven't, what's the closest experience you've had to it?
Let's see, what day is today? On the plane, every time. No. Oh, hell yes. I mean, are we talking just like where you can't stop farting?
Well, and an actual heart attack paired with it.
No, thank God, no heart attack. As a matter of fact,
good.
even a lot of you young ones won't care about this, but my cholesterol is below normal.
Hey!
That's right. Full of cancer, but no cholesterol. No, I guess technically I have not. But I will tell you, I love that scene when Aziz comes running out and he says, "Were you eating farts for lunch?" Because it shows I'm literally having a heart attack. And he is joking because he does not grab it. And all he wants is a doctor to say the term fart attack. Didn't happen, Aziz. Which you guys, speaking of Aziz, I don't know if you guys have seen his latest special on Netflix. You got to check it out. And the reason is, of course, it's funny and it's all that kind of stuff. That thing that happened to Aziz, that little Me Too thing that happened to him, was life-changing for him. And he's so raw about it. It's worth checking out. I went to he had a special, like a private thing. So I go to this private thing at some private house in, I don't know, somewhere in L.A. And I walk in, and I'm like, oh, there's Kim and Kanye, interesting. Oh, there's Brad Pitt, nice to see you. Like, it was crazy. And I see Aziz, I go, who the hell are you hanging out with these days? Oh, my God. Like, it was crazy. But we watch it, and I even got teary-eyed at one point, and I go, dude, you weren't supposed to make me cry today. But he's so, it's so real and from his heart, and he's honest about what happened, which thankfully turned out to be a nothing thing, but it still affected him in a big way. And anyway, not he can do his own promotion, but you know what I'm saying. Check out Aziz on Netflix.
Great.
Is that your answer at all, Adam, or did I totally screw it up?
Close enough.
Close enough, yeah.
I saw just a moment of smiling and nodding, so you got there.
Yeah.
You got there. So we have, unfortunately, because time flies when we're having fun, 10 minutes left. Wow. 10 minutes already.
Wow.
And so we've got some folks still left in line. We're going to see. We won't lightning
and Bert's
round
here,
yet,
too.
We're
I
gonna
met
see
Bert earlier.
We're going to see if we can get here.
All right. So there's two Jerrys, right? other than Gary, Larry et al.
Yeah.
There's the bumbling one at work, and then there's the kind of suave and talented guy at home. Were there any stories about that Jerry, the Jerry at home, that didn't get told, didn't make it to the script, but that you were aware of?
Yes. Gail every day had 4 orgasms. Every single day, whether I was in the room or not. Every single day. No, but I will tell you, that episode where Leslie comes to the house and has to sing that damn eggs, bacon, and toast. Yes. And realizes Jerry's got it all. He's got it all. He's got the wife and the kids. They think he is the best thing since sliced bread. I mean, they really do, and they're not faking it. And I love that episode because, people are like, oh, they were always so mean to you. And we all know what went down. That being said, they also had my back whenever it really counted. When Leslie heard I was hurt in the hospital, even though it was fake, she couldn't have got there quicker. When Chris and Ben show up in Pawnee, they say, Ben sits down with Ron and Leslie and says, we have to cut some stuff in the department. Let's start with Jerry Gergich. And her first response is, we can't do it without him. So they had his back when it counted. But I love that episode where Leslie really sees. He shows her that book of their vacations and everything. Jerry had it all. He really had it all. So, and he knew the work, he loved his coworkers, and he knew, you wanted to like where you work, and he did. But at 5 o'clock, he went home to the wife and kids, and that's what was important.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Great question.
Burt Macklin, FBI, up to the microphone.
Burt Macklin, FBI.
Yes.
Is it true you murdered Mayor Gunderson to become mayor? I'm on the case.
You want me to
We
read
need to cut this right now.
Okay, all right. Yeah, time is up. Thank you, everybody.
Thank
This has
you.
been Jim.
No, seriously. Real question.
Yeah.
Aubrey Plaza seems like kind of an off-the-wall person in real life.
Off the
Any great
effing
stories?
wall. What's that?
Any great stories about Aubrey Plaza?
Well, thousands, but the greatest is our last, after the show aired, our final episode, we were all in New York and we did Seth Meyers' show. And if you haven't seen this, go to YouTube. So Seth gave us the whole hour. We all went out there for the whole hour because Seth was a major fan of parks. He would come out to LA and do the Q&As with audiences. So right before during the last commercial, all we knew was we were going to just chat for an hour, and at the very end, Pratt was going to play guitar, and we were going to sing Bye Bye Little Sebastian. So right during the commercial break, it was me here, Adam, and Aubrey. Aubrey leans in front of Adam and goes, you want to make out during the song? Yeah. Yeah, I think I do. Now, here's why she is so brilliant. It's not funny to make out with Pratt. It's not funny to get the fat old guy. That's funny. And you guys, you got to see it. But the best part of the clip isn't us making out, and believe me, we went for it. It's watching the cast realize what's happening. Aziz was like, no. Adam was the only one who knew because he was between us. So no one knew what was, and so Pratt's playing along. He has no idea why the audience is some vomiting, some projectile, No, but so that, and then, I don't know, 6 months ago or whatever, Aubrey was hosting the Independent Spirit Awards, I believe, one of those award shows. And she called me and she said, okay, I have something I'd like you to do. It's kind of dirty. I'm on board. Anyway, there's this thing called the Fire Festival. Did you guys hear about it? Or the Friar, whatever the hell it was called. And there's documentaries about it. And one of the guys in there admitted to something that was pretty amazing. Like, he was going to do something to get the water that they needed. He was going to perform a sexual act on another guy for the water. So I do a reenactment. And she wrote it. And we shot it in the studio, and I went in. And so go to YouTube and check out Aubrey Jim Fire Festival, whatever it is. But I have a different ending than he had. That's all I'm going to say. So
ooh, teaser.
Everyone had a happy ending, yes. So check that out on YouTube. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bert.
All right.
I was just wondering, was anyone really bad at breaking character constantly? And are there any scenes that you remember having a really hard time getting
So
through?
many, dude. So many. But we were never admonished for it because the producers really believed if we were having a good time, it was going to come across in the show. There was a director once who, our line producer is kind of the money guy. And if he showed up, he'd be like, oh, Morgan's here, get busy. Because you knew he was looking at the clock, his overtime and all that stuff. But the director said to Morgan, Morgan said, how's it going? He goes, oh, they're great. But boy, sometimes it's hard to get them to break apart. And Morgan said, if that's our worst problem, we're fine. Like, in other words, if we kill a little time because they're enjoying each other, it's good. So the breakups, Pratt was easy to break. Nick says he isn't easy to break until you break him 100 times. So, but if Nick was sitting here, my guess is he would tell you he doesn't break. And then I'll go to say, you know what, let's go to the video because, my friend, you broke. But Pratt definitely, I think Aubrey broke easy. I could break easy. Whenever, Jean Ralphio, the character? Okay, Ben Schwartz is the guy. And I have never in my life, and I've met some pretty amazing improvisers, I've never met anyone like Ben Schwartz. I think he's a genius. I think his brain works differently than most people's. I really do. And when they would let him go, you couldn't keep it together because the stuff that would come from his head was nuts and funny. And like when the script would just say, if he had to do like a little rap, Jean Ralphio raps. They didn't write it. There was no need to write it because his brain is different than everybody, but not different brilliant. So he broke all of us up. There's an outtake of him with Donna, and but the whole take is her trying, and he's in her face. And she can't. You just can't. You can't. So we all broke. I was easy. I was easy because I enjoyed them all. But I would, if I had to put, I would say Pratt. If I had to say somebody, yeah, I would say Pratt.
Thank you so much. Thank
you.
you. We have 3 minutes left.
3 minutes.
So we'll see what we can do. And also, if you don't make a question up, you have a table in here tomorrow?
I don't know.
Yeah. Great.
Where's Laura?
He's going to be around.
My girl Laura, is she here?
He's going to be around.
Laura, do I have a thing tomorrow?
No, but you have a table.
Photo ops, and
You're
I'll be
here.
at the table.
You're at the table tomorrow.
I thought
That's
you meant in
no.
here.
Yes,
I'll be at the table.
So yeah, so if you don't get your question asked, then we'll go ahead and see him at the table. It's a great time at the table. But we're going to try and rip through. Next question.
So I loved it when you told Kyle to stop being so pretentious after eating the...
How pretentious with that burger.
The umami flavor.
Yeah.
I was wondering if there was any other moments that you wanted to try and get Jerry to talk a little...
Well, that was the one they really gave me. The only power Jerry had was over Kyle. You know what I mean? Like, Jerry felt, I can put Kyle down. Anyone else he knew could out-talk him, outmaneuver him, but not Kyle. Kyle's a dumbass. And actually, the actor is the best. He did a Comic-Con in San Diego. It was him, Perd Hapley, oh God, I love her. Susan, Helen Slater. What's her name? She played. No, I love Mo Collins is one of my people in my life. I love Joan. She did the court reporting. Ethel Beavers. My God, you gotta love Beaver. Anyway, what I'm saying is no, but she was there, and so they did this like. Side character panel, and they had the greatest time because the fans love those characters, even though they're not there all the time, but they love them. But no, I don't think I ever spoke up other than that. No, I think that was my moment.
Also proud of the chronic masturbation.
Are you on board? I can tell. Yeah. You had a very firm grip earlier. Yeah. I know all about it. Yeah.
Unfortunately, we are at our last question.
Okay, one more.
One more,
okay,
I think.
One more. I feel bad.
It's very concise.
Okay, I love concise.
How did you discover who was going to be playing Gail?
Well, here's how that worked. So they said to me, well, first of all, the reason Gail even came to pass was Mike Shore said to the writers, because they kept writing terrible things for Jerry. And he's finally at one point, okay, we have to write for other people too. Like, it can't, because it's fun to write that kind of character that terrible things happen to, or he does stupid things. So they said, if we want Jim to stick around, we got to give Jerry a good life. There's got to be something good in his life. Let's give him the wife. So they said, we're going to go for a Christy Brinkley type. And they say to me, this is what we're thinking. I'm like, oh, my God, God bless. Because Amy had a pitch, and Amy's pitch at first, before Mike said, listen, we got to give him good stuff, because otherwise, why isn't he taking himself out, So Amy's pitch was like some little scrawny, little nervous, smoking, like, oh, God, he's home, he's home. Like, in other words, I'm a tyrant when I get home. Yeah, which would be a totally different take on what they went with. So they didn't do that, but it was a good pitch. So they said a Christy Brinkley type. So the way it works in Hollywood is whenever they come up with an idea for a type, they normally go out to that person. And they normally turn it down because of they're either a big name who you can't get or whatever. So Christy had never heard of the show. She knew nothing. She says to her daughter, Sailor, I got this offer to do a show called Parks, and the girl goes, Parks and Recreation? And she goes, yes. She goes, they want me to be someone's wife. And Sailor told her, and I just saw Sailor, she did Dancing with the Stars this year, so I just saw her a couple weeks ago. And she said that her brain immediately went to, because she thought, he's married, he did that. She goes, Jerry Gergich's wife? And she goes, yes. And she goes, oh, Mom, please, you have to do it. So that is how that's how Christy Brinkley said, I'll do the role. And Sailor came to the set. Every time Christy flew in to do it, Sailor was with her because she was such a big fan of the show. So Sailor is why, because Christy gets offered, she's this very unattractive woman who, boy, and she's not aging well at all. But no, as a matter of fact, when we do the episode where, the very end, spoiler alert, when they make me 100 years old, and we're sitting at that birthday party, for me, and she goes, Jim, look, they gave me these little lines. I just sat in the effing makeup chair for 5 hours. Because she had nothing. They had to give her the damn lines. She's oh, God. Amy always said, and it's so true, when Christy walks in a room, it brightens. And she's got that, not just that great smile, but there's something very lovely about her. There was a weird laugh over there. Okay, so was that it?
That's the
okay,
conclusion.
Before we go, let's do a round of eggs, bacon, and toast, and I'll send it to Christy. Yeah. And then I'll send it to Christy Brinkley. She'll get it. And I'll send it to the cast. They'll get a kick out of it, too. Because a couple weeks ago, Nick sent us all, he was doing his one-man show in London, and he sent us all a video of 2,500 people singing Bye Bye Little Sebastian, holding up their phones. So, okay. 1, 2, 3. Eggs, bacon, and toast. Eggs, bacon, and toast. You should start your day the Gergish way with eggs, bacon, and toast. Thanks, you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Jim O'Hare.